Hello, this is Manish Patel from ichimokutrade.com. Today is December 2nd, 2013. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency market. It's been a while since we've done these videos, since we've been traveling all over the U.S. Talking about Ichimoku to people. So we're just now gearing up to get back into these weekly videos, and we'll be posting them on a regular basis now. Our normal procedures. This is to go for a disclaimer first. This is our normal disclaimer to state this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. Today, all the charts will be from TradeStation. Here are our contact details here. You could email us here at info@eiicapital.com, or you could call us in any of our global locations here, or you could go visit our ichimokutrade.com website, where we have a lot of free instructional videos on Ichimoku and various other things. We've got 200 plus videos out there. Also, you could access our Twitter, our Facebook feed, and other various resources out there. Okay, let's go straight to the charts and start looking for all these currencies. Remember, left hand side is basically the daily time frame, and the right hand side is basically the weekly time frame. If you look at Australian CAD here, this was bearish trending here, decided to go up. It hit a major roadblock at basically at 1.000, and now it's trying to retest the low. In order for it to retest the low, it's got to break the support at 96.07. If it doesn't break that support and breaks the minor resistance at 98.15, this is going to keep on going higher to basically destroy this bearish trend here that it broke out. And you could see that this was the bottom of the consolidation pattern right about here. So we're going to basically say this is the resistance right there, 99.50.45. If it breaks that resistance now, this thing's going to go up and basically get to the top of the consolidation pattern, which is going to be all the way up there at basically 1.0600. Okay, the key level here is basically the support, which is basically at 96.07, which it has to hold now. If it doesn't, this thing's going to be basically going to retest the low and possibly going down lower to break that. So Australian CAD is at a very critical level right now. It did hold the support for one time, but we needed to break the resistance to completely start going up. Australian yen. If you look at the yen, most of the yen pairs that were bullish, they've now engaged in a major pullback here, which is kind of what you're seeing right now as far as Australian yen is concerned. Resistance on this guy right now, it's at a minor support, which is basically 92.50, which is the bottom of the consolidation pattern. But the big major support is going to be basically 91.03. Resistance on this guy is going to be basically 95 on that one. If it could break 95, then we do have a high potential of getting to 100 and possibly breaking that to retest the highs, which is all the way to basically 104. So definitely keep an eye on Australian yen. Australian Switzy, if you look here, Switzy's been strong against Australian currency. Nice downward trend here. However, if you look at this and I shrink this guy in, this is just one ugly consolidation pattern basically, where it's at its minor support. It's at its support level right now, which is 92.62. So it's at the bottom of the consolidation pattern. Resistance on this guy is going to be 84.74 moving forward. Australia, New Zealand, this has been a nice trending market going down. Still has potential, believe it or not, to going down. Could make a move to get to this nice even number 1,000, which it's trying to slowly target to go down. Resistance on this guy is going to be about 13.42. Australian USD. If you notice in a lot of these Australian currencies, Australia is weak compared to all the currencies so far except yen. So that's been the theme for right now. And if you notice on a lot of these currencies, it's getting to the major support area too. So basically Australia is weak compared to all the currencies so far except against yen, and it's getting to the bottom of the range on a lot of them too. This is another example here where basically it was consolidating, broke down below the consolidation pattern, came back here, pulled back to 97.23, which was its resistance level, and now it's retesting the lows all the way down here, which is all the way down here at 89.34. So basically keep an eye on Australian currencies because that is weak compared to everything out there except yen. CAD Switzy, if you look at CAD Switzy, this is bearish trending on both the daily and weekly. Let's zoom in on the weekly. If you look here, wow, this is definitely looks like it's going down. A lot of minor supports, but it is on its probability, on its way to retest all the way down here to 77.23. But it's a slow moving one, so you better have the patience to sit there and trade something in this. But it is at a major support right now, 85.09. Which is basically its major support. 86.83 is its minor resistance level. CAD yen, this is my favorite currency. Bullish trending here, finally hit the clouds, gone for a major consolidation pattern here in the major pullback. The bullish trend is not over unless, believe it or not, and the reason why is it's not gone below the cloud at all. In fact, it bounced off the top of the cloud, which shows you that it has a very, very strong bullish momentum right now. A lot of people thinking this is going to tank, but it's not. It's actually getting ready to sit there and break out. It's trying to get to the top of the consolidation pattern, which is pretty much right here. And if you mark it off right there, 87.27, which is not, it's only a couple of points away. Support on this one is going to be 94.92. Switzy yen. If you look at Switzy yen, this is bullish trending on both the daily and weekly, and still continuing to move higher and higher and higher. So this is very strong compared to the CAD yen right now. So if you look at all the yen pairs so far, Switzy yen has been the strongest compared to Australia and the CAD yen. Let's go look at some of the Euro currencies now. Euro Australian, if you look here, this is bullish trending, decided to do a medium pullback, retesting the high here at 5,000, which is its resistance level. Minor supports are 46.77, and major support is basically 45.40. But this is bullish trending, and the key now is to break that 5,000 level. If it does, this is going to get to a whole new level, breaking higher. And if we enlarge this chart here, you could see overall, let me shrink this down, that this was long time bearish, and believe it or not, this upward movement is very minor compared to the downward movement that it engaged. And believe it or not, the consolidation pattern before that it broke to start the whole bearish movement here is about here, 64.50. So this does have a high probability, believe it or not, to get to 6,000 and to get up to 64.50 long term. So definitely keep an eye on Euro, Australian, and remember we talked about this on the when we're looking at all the Australian currencies. Australia is very weak compared to all the other currencies except yen out there. Euro, CAD. So this is another one Euro strong against. You could see here a big downward consolidation pattern here. It broke this resistance level here, which is right around here. Broke the resistance level there, and sitting there trying to go higher and higher right now, but that is a resistance level, which is the acting support at 42.48. Its next resistance level that this thing's trying to go to on a long-term basis is going to be about 48.03, which is now another 400 points. In order to do that, this thing's got to go for a minor pullback, believe it or not, to roughly around 42.36, and then make a move to break 4,500. If it does, definitely will get to 48.03 very fast. So this is another one to keep an eye on moving forward. Euro Switzy, you typically don't like looking at this one because this is just one ugly consolidation pattern, so let's ignore it. Euro DKK, ugly on both the daily and weekly, consolidate. Let's move on. Euro Pound, this thing is just one ugly thing. However, on the daily, it looks like it's trying to go bearish. However, it's at a major support right now, which is at 82.50. 82.75 is its major support. If it could break that support, then it does have a potential of going down lower and lower to the bottom of the consolidation pattern, which basically will start the daily to be trending downwards. And if you notice, this is a consolidation pattern, but notice the consolidation pattern is downward moving. And if you look at it, most of the Fibonacci traders out there are looking at this and saying, wow, it could retest this low here, which is basically the 50% retracement. So if you look at this, this is slowly going down, deteriorating, but you could sit there and look at the daily chart and play it, and you could see it did break the support level here, which was the consolidation pattern roughly around here, and does have potential going down, but it's got to break that 8,200 level. If it, sorry, 8,300. If it does, sorry, 8,200. If it does, this is going to sit there and tank and have a high probability of tanking even further. So definitely keep an eye on that one and kind of see exactly where we sit right now. Euro yen, Yen pairs, of course, doing good. This one's doing good, just like all the other yen pairs out there. Bullish trending, not even gone for a major pullback at all since mid 2012. And it's still very strong moving forward here. And if you shrink this down, you could see it's at a resistance level. It's coming up, which is right about here roughly. Let's just give it a little early one. 141.19 is the resistance level. So notice the euro yen has a resistance level, whereas a lot of the yen pairs like the Switzy yen, CAD yen are at all-time highs. Okay, euro NOK, you could see here is bullish trending on both the daily and weekly. And you could see here this had a nice downward movement. It's now starting to recuperate here, and if you look here, this is its next resistance level is right about here, which is basically 40.57 is the next resistance level, which it's trying to get to. Support's going to be about 8.1836. Euro New Zealand, well, that's one ugly looking chart right now. Basically, this thing's consolidating between 6,000 and 7,000. Not even worth our time looking at. Euro SEK is looking ugly. Support on this one's 84.71. Resistance is 9,000. Let's move on. Euro USD, this is looking ugly here. However, if you enlarge the chart, this is one big consolidation pattern, which is trying to get to the top of the consolidation pattern, but it's at a major resistance level right now that it's got to break, which is 3,600. If it could break that, then it could go higher. However, if it can't, it needs to sit there and break a support level of 35.09. So major support for Euro USD is 35.09. In order for it to sit there and go higher, it's got to hold that level. Pound Australian, you're going to notice a minute the last couple of months, pound has been the currency to trade, where it's strong across the board, and that's where you could pretty much get your huge number of pip movement. You could see here pound Australian is basically trending on both the daily and weekly, and if you look, this was a nice downward movement here. If you mark off the resistance levels, this is where that pivot high here was before they got to the consolidation pattern. So it's at a major resistance level right there. If it breaks that level, then it can sit there and get to this other level right here, which is 86.11, which is another 100 pips higher. However, it's got to break the 81.03 level. Support on this guy is going to be about 75.66. Pound Switzy, you could see this is not as strong as a pound Australian right now. However, it's slowly moving up. You could see on the daily, it broke the minor resistance level of 4,800. It's gone higher, a little spike here in the daily time frame, but remember the day's not over at all. And you could see the weekly finally popped out of the cloud. But this is one ugly, slow-moving chart, pretty much out there. So if people like slow-moving charts, this is the one to trade against the Switzy, because that is the strongest against the Switzy. Pound yen, of course, is being strong since pound has been extremely strong and the yen's been weak. So this is things going higher and higher and higher. If you look at this big chart here, this was going down in 2008, finally sitting and going up. We're at a major resistance right now on the pound yen, which no one's looking at, which is basically 167.24. Is the resistance level. So it's very key to see exactly where we sit there and stand by the end of today, end of this week. Is we got to close above 167.24. If we do, then we can say we broke it. If not, if it bounces off there, we have not broken that level at all. So that's it's at a very critical level, which a lot of people are kind of ignoring. Pound New Zealand really doing nothing except consolidating. It's stuck at this 2,000 level. Support on this guy is going to be about 96.71. Pound USD is really doing nothing, even though it's big move off the bottom, which is 5,000 up to 63.55, which is a big move, but it's at the top of the consolidation pattern, which is basically 6,400. The bottom of that consolidation is 5,000. Minor support is going to be basically 61.47 moving forward. So pound has been very, very strong moving forward. New Zealand CAD, this is one ugly looking chart. You could see the same levels we drew out 2 months ago are still valid today, which is pretty bad. So support on this one is going to be about 85.33. Resistance is going to be 87.76. Nothing entertaining, exciting there at all. New Zealand, Switzy, nothing going on here. It's just consolidating. Support's going to be basically 73.50. Resistance is going to be 75.50. Nothing exciting there. New Zealand yen, it's just like all the yen pairs, is going higher. However, this does have a resistance, which pretty much 85 is going to be its resistance. So keep an eye on this one. If it breaks to 85, then it has a potential going up to about 86, which is right roughly around here. But this has got a lot of resistances to go up. So this is not the strongest currency to play against the yen, believe it or not. Neither is the pound pound yen either. The strongest ones right now are pretty much the Australian yen, and then you have the Swiss yen, which are the strongest right now against the yens, if my memory serves me right from what we went through. New Zealand USD, nothing really going on there at all. It's boring. Basically bounced off the top of the consolidation pattern, which is 8,500. The bottom of the consolidation pattern is roughly going to be about 7,700. Minor support resistance level is going to be 82.48, and minor support level is going to be 8,100 right now. Singapore yen is going up. It's retesting the high right now, which is at 82. That's going to be its critical level there. Support on this guy is going to be at 80.24. Nothing really to talk about there. We've already talked about a lot of the yens. This is the most interesting one, which not a lot of people have noticed. US CAD. This thing has been slowly moving up, and it actually got to the top of the range, which not a lot of people thought it would, which is right around here. Now, this is a very critical level for the US CAD, because if it breaks the 657 level, this basically is going to break out its consolidation pattern, and it has a potential now of going up a lot higher, and it actually could sit there and go all the way up to about 1,500 or so. So if this can sit there and move another 600 to 1,000 pips if it could break this level. So this level is very critical to break. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what's happening on that one. Support on this one is going to be 525, but not a lot of people are looking at the US CAD because of its chart and how slow it moves. But this thing is slowly going up, which not a lot of people are talking about. US Switzy, nothing really going on right now. Just consolidating. It's at a major support right now, which is at 90.50. Resistance on this one is going to be 9,200. USD Day KK is boring. Nothing going on here. It's just consolidating. Supports basically 4,000. Resistance on this guy is going to be 61.93. That's boring. Not even worth my time talking about. USD Hong Kong going to the bottom of the consolidation pattern, which is all the way down here. Let's just say 75.10. Nothing really exciting there. 75.30 is its resistance level. US yen, a lot of people are talking about this one. Yes, of course, because it's sitting there retesting the high, which a lot of these yen pairs are. However, they haven't broken the resistance. This hasn't broken the resistance like this Swiss yen has and Australian yen has. So this is interesting to see. It's at a major level right now. It is due for a pullback, believe it or not. Minor pullback levels are 101.42, and the next one's 128. And then lastly, oh sorry, we got a couple. US NOK really not doing anything except ranging between 2,000 and 424. So not worth talking about. USD SEK. Support on this one's 5,046. Resistance on this guy is going to be around 6,000. Nothing exciting there. And USD Singapore, nothing exciting there. It's just ranging between 24.57 and 2,800. That's it for this week for the currency market. Hope you enjoyed it. Please keep a lookout for the Australian currency continuing to be weak until it gets to its support levels or resistance levels, which it's approaching very fast, and then continue to watch all the currencies against the yen, because a lot of them are at a resistance or breaking out to new higher highs. So those are the two currencies that are moving. Also the pound currencies have been moving very well. You could get a short-term pullback on a lot of pound currencies, so keep an eye on that for this week. I will see you next week. Thank you.